We're coming to you live today from the Investor Tribe studio. Today's episode is brought to you by Kentucky Private Lending. Reach out to them to start your investing journey today. KentuckyPL.com. Investing can be intimidating.
Oh, of course it can be, but we're here to help you skip the guesswork.
I'm Hampton Scurlock.
I'm Milton Ali, and you're watching the Investor Tribe podcast.
I'm sure that there has to be some funny, on your husband's side where he's doing the install. That has to be that gets weird. So, but you don't step into any of that, do you? Okay.
I don't. I haven't participated in an install in a really long time. Although, I did help him a few weeks ago pull some wire at a commercial job, which was dirty. I didn't like it very much.
That's not what we imagined.
Yeah, I'm just like. And this is not what I'm supposed to be doing today, honey. I'm happy to help. It was a big job, and we needed all hands on deck to get it accomplished quicker. So he's like, "Hey, I need your help," and I'm like, "I'm all in," but not my favorite thing to do.
Okay,
but we did get it done on time. Client was so happy. We're doing this. We actually already did his other two properties. So happy client, happy customers. It's all it's about.
Love it. I totally love it. And I'm Milton Ali.
And I'm Hampton Scurlock, and welcome to the Investor Tribe podcast. We're fortunate enough today to have a friend of mine and a fellow PREA member, Rebecka Taasaas. So she's had her own business for about 12 years now. So we have it's America's Choice Security Systems, and the website is americaschoicealarm.com. She's got to tell us some ins and outs of securing your properties and protecting your valuable assets.
Late night grind, got the cash in the flow. Flipping these dreams with the portfolio grow. Brick by brick, stacking wealth in the zone. Investor Tribe, OBS, where the hustle is home.
How'd you get started in the security system? How'd you go about owning your own business with your husband?
Well, thank you for the question. Thank you for having me today. We've actually been in the security industry for over 25 years. And funny story, we came from the equine.
How did you do that when you're only 25?
Yeah. Thank you. You are so kind. You are so kind. We are now best friends.
You get to see.
No, we came from the equine industry, interestingly enough. My husband was a horse trainer, and he trained horses internationally. And he got stuck in a country in South America and almost didn't make it home. And when he came home, I said, we have to find a different career, because I was pregnant with our second child.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't imagine my life without him. And so we wanted to do something different. And the role of security as a salesperson came available to us. And we plugged in, worked for a large corporate entity. You all know the big blue octagon sign. We were with them for 13 years. And I actually was with a dealership for 8 years. So he was in the corporate side, I was in a dealership side, and really facilitating his ability to sell systems differently and for less money. And so we both got an experience in the industry. One day he came to me and he says, I feel like our clients are being overcharged and underserved, and we know this business well enough, we can do this ourselves. And on that day, it changed our lives, and we decided to become independent. We found a good monitoring partner that we adore and still adore. And we've been self-employed now for 12 years. This August will be 12 years.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
12 years.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Love it.
So I wanted to know, because you have worked with some of my clients in the past, and I've known of you for years. And so what I wanted to know, and you shared this with me, but I need to hear for our friends and for our friends watching right now, what are some of the most effective security measures for protecting vacant properties? You know that we operate with a lot of investors.
Yes, we do.
And so here at the Tribe, we like to help, our members understand how to protect vacant properties, because a lot of our properties are vacant. There are some best practices, but there's also some things, if you can just kind of help us out with that a little bit.
I'd love to. We're all investors here.
Yes.
Myself included. The thing that's most important, especially with properties that are vacant, and all properties are vacant at some point in their in their rehab. They're either being prepared to be rentals or being prepared to be sold. But the most important thing to understand is that they're empty. And when a property is empty, it becomes an opportunity. And so what we want to do by securing a property, especially one that is empty, we want to put a system in there to create deterrence and reaction. Let me give you an example. I have a good friend who had a rental property that was open. She was looking for a renter, and that property got vandalized. The HVAC was stolen, copper pipes were pulled out of the property. It was a mess. And what's unfortunate about that is the people who went into this property knew that it was vacant and knew that there was no restriction. There was no system in there. There was no way they were going to get caught. They were able to stay as long as they wanted. And this is really my point to vacant properties. When we add a security system, which we're able to do because you don't need internet, we use what's called a cell module. And a cell module is like a cell phone on steroids that is connected to our system that can activate the system. All it needs is power. So all I need is an outlet.
Wait, okay, back up. So you mean that, so for years, you've had to have an internet connection.
Or a phone.
We set up, one of my clients, well, another agent in our office, bought a property and literally had to purchase a hotspot for the property just so that they can install the cameras in the system. So you mean to tell me that that's no longer necessary?
No longer necessary.
See, okay.
So a cell module is something that in the past, only commercial properties had cell modules available to them, and they were used as a backup. We've been using phone lines to communicate and power, obviously, outlet power, to operate the system. Well, a dozen years ago, it became available for residential properties, small businesses, and protocol is a normal. All of our clients who put security systems in their properties, be it a commercial property, a small business, a warehouse, a private home, or an investment property, they're all managed through the Verizon cell module. We can also use AT&T if Verizon's not as strong a signal. And this is one of the processes we determine on site. So in your case of a open property, by putting a security system in that property, you create resistance. There's signs and stickers that are put on the exterior of the property. So someone walking down the street knows that system is being protected. It's verified that it's being protected because when you walk in the front door, a sounding device, front door, or just a ping. So not only is the signs and stickers create the deterrence, but actually having a system, now a potential burglar or someone who's going to steal your supplies that are stored inside of the house realizes that that's a trigger event. It's going to trigger a call. It's going to summon the police because they know someone was not supposed to be there, and now they have a limited amount of time in the property. In my girlfriend's case, they had all the time in the world because there was no action involved in their entrance, and that's why vacant properties need security.
I want to tell a little story, and this is, my wife thought I was crazy the time for doing this, but we have properties we've needed security, and one time we had an issue that happened years ago before I knew you. I would have called you. I would have to go through this, but we had a property that had some stuff stolen the day before closing. Downtown Louisville. They found it in the walkthroughs. They broke it in, stole a few things. Get the crew over there. We get everything fixed. Get the house buttoned up. And realize I don't have security. Neighbors says they're working today. I don't know if it's going to happen again. So I take a flashlight, a sleeping bag, and a 9mm gun, and I go sit down there. As we move the closing back a day, make sure nothing happened to the house. I have a family. I don't need to put myself in that type of danger. But there's sometimes you need security, and your way is a whole lot easier and safer than what I try to do. But you do side hustles? Not anymore. Not anymore. Not like travel. So so what we can do is we can set up, as a sponsor of the Investor Tribe, that you'll go to
you'll go to tribe members' houses, with a bag and a gun
Stakeout.
and just, kind of hang out. I'm sure
The liability insurance probably would be much at all on that type of business,
what can go wrong?
Sleeping in strange places and with a gun. I mean, it's so wrong.
Yeah. And, what's really interesting is that, I did not do what Hampton did. Okay. So, however, what's the craziest part is that I purchased a home, and this was recent, and I purchased a home, and literally we're talking 1 week after we purchased a property, I bought some equipment. I put it in on a Saturday because my crew was due to be there Monday, and I didn't want to, and I typically don't work half of Sunday. And so I just, I took care of it and was like, this is going to be great.
Right.
I so happened to check the property the next day. I drove by and I saw, Monday morning, my contractor sent me a picture with a hole in the window with the door completely busted up and some of the supplies stolen. To think about how you feel at that moment,
Right.
it is it's an emotional thing, because I wouldn't have wanted to, I wouldn't have wanted to grab us. I would probably, grab the gun without sleeping bag. So this is a little, so this is, so my, the vibe is a little different when it comes to that. And so that's but I was angry.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was I'm not going to say wasted money. I don't know how to, but yeah, you feel
Well, you're going to have to replace that.
you have to replace the material. You have to do all the things. And say the story, we didn't have any kind of system.
Well, and really that's kind of the thing I wanted to talk about. People do talk about the expense, but let's use this as an example. My girlfriend is an example. How much is it going to cost her to rehab this property so that she can get back to a rental available position versus the cost of putting a system in, protecting the property, and avoiding those extra costs, materials that you have to replace. We've had many investors come to us to protect properties who have lost entire roof pallets that they put, wood, drywall, because the opportunity it's too tempting for someone to just take it who knows there is no resistance. And that's what we want to do. We want to make it more trouble than it's worth. And that's really true even protecting your own private home. There are properties in your neighborhood that don't have security. If you have one, you're not the one that's going to be picked on. It's going to be the properties that are that are not secured. And that's true pretty much in our business, in any situation that you can possibly think to protect.
Yeah. You talked about the cell, using the cell technology.
Cell module.
Cell module systems, but how can they do smart home technology, enhanced property security, or how does that work?
The security, you can imagine the height of the security protocol that's necessary to use these kind of devices so that they can't be tampered with. And we use alarm.com for all of our communication, and they are the highest quality tech we really kind of state of the art of the pulse of the security industry and of the communication industry. So we have a great partnership with them, and we let them take care of those details.
What's the police response time like?
Actually, because our police officers are roaming our cities, the response times can be varied. If a police officer is close to your neighborhood, then your response time is much quicker than if maybe someone's across town. So it really does depend on when it's called, who's in the area. The thing that's most important for people to understand is we do have a protocol. The first call is not the police. The first call is the owner of the property. And we will go through a protocol before we respond to police because we don't want our police responding to non-emergencies. And so there is a protocol, and you can have one person called or you can have 3 people called. And they authorize our ability to go. If no one responds, then the services are summoned. But I do have to say, you'll get a phone call back from monitoring within 9 seconds of an alarm. So I tell my clients, if your alarm's going off, your phone's ringing. So call. You pick up that phone, which we provide our 1-800 numbers for all of our clients. So they'll take those inbound calls.
Wow.
9 seconds.
9 seconds.
9 seconds.
Fastest remote talk in the industry.
It was.
Wow. That's had I had a so I've had a security system, and so often, it I see the value, and so often my experiences have been I haven't got to it quick enough, so it's like blaring, and it's and you're like, let me hit the code real quick, or no
longer necessary.
Oh, okay, yeah, help me out, because
now as a standard feature of our systems is remote access. So there is no need to go to a keypad. Your phones are on us. We are business professionals. Our phones are on us pretty much 24/7. And you are a touch away from terminating the alarm on your system. If you, by any chance, happen to trip it and it's an accident, it can be disarmed very quickly, which you would not need a phone call. But the remote access is a feature that's given to all of our clients. And literally, you open your phone, you open the app, and you touch a button, and the system is terminated. So that's access that's only given to those in the know. You decide who get those.
That's encouraging.
Who gets that notice?
That's encouraging.
Yes.
That's I like that.
I just had a light bulb go off in my head because I'm thinking of security system, property damage, securing a property. But I think one of the advice would be if you've got a vacant property. I've got an investor friend. I've got a really good friend that he was telling me, and he had a vacant property, and all of a sudden he drives by and he sees people moving some things in.
Uh-huh.
Nobody was supposed to be moving things in.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd gotten, there's some scams going off, and these people paid some money to somebody in New York and just mailed or wired a bunch of money. And this guy in New York said, "Oh yeah, you can move on in. I lost the key, so just call a locksmith. We'll take it off your first month's rent. Send me $400 deposit and $400 rent." And this was probably going for $1,000 a month. So my poor friend, he didn't have a security system.
Right.
And he drives by and sees somebody moving into his property. Police said they couldn't do anything because now it's an eviction matter. So they don't usually want to get involved with that. So now, my friend, you've either got to bribe these people to do a cash for keys or go through the full-blown eviction process, which in our town takes a lot longer than other places sometimes. And squatters or tenants, even if they don't have a valid lease, they're not supposed to be there. It can take months or weeks to get people out.
Okay, so think of let's look at the advantage or the disadvantage. The advantage is if he had a system in there, he would have been notified the moment the door was opened. And he could have responded with, go see the property, call the neighbor. There's a lot of things that he could have done to completely prevent this whole entire thing. And think I feel so bad for your client. Think about the loss he has in income. Now he's not able to rent it at the rent that it's valued at. So this is why I think being connected to your properties, whether they're your private home, your business, or investment properties, is worth doing it just from a loss standpoint. What could I lose by not having it? I think that's what we have to remember. A security system is like an insurance policy. And that's really how we need to look at it. Say short-term rentals. You need to have a monitored fire module device added to your system. The smokes that are in your house are to alert the people who are in the house, but it's not communicating with anybody. So we do a secondary smoke, perfect for short-term, mid-term, and long-term. Now your house is not going to catch on fire because you're connected to the fire department. Again, another insurance policy to validate the effort of putting it in. Now, we make this effortless, which is really the point of doing business with America's Choice. We do same-day installs. We are in and out very quickly. The equipment that we use is easy to use. In fact, it's won awards for its ease of use at national tech conferences. We do that on purpose. Whether you're young or you're mature, we want people to feel comfortable using it. The remote app and all of the devices, any added service like the smoke alarm, we do not charge our clients. We feel a system is incomplete without it. Now, in a rehab, we don't recommend a smoke. Can be problematic with dust. But once the rehab is completed, a smoke could be added to further protect that property. Because we'd like to see the system during a rehab stay with the home.
And that may be a good segue, actually, for today's sponsor, which is you. So you did a good little commercial there, and you got great service, but America's Choice Security Services, today's sponsor. So if you will look at the camera and tell us a little bit about, what you guys offer, and then
Sure.
how you're so much better than
How we can contact you.
yes, and how to get on.
Okay, so I'd love to. Well, my husband and I, Rebecka and Steve Taasaas, own America's Choice Security Services. We provide security solutions for residential, commercial, and investment property. That does include burglar alarms and camera systems. With 25 years experience, we feel that we have the capability of providing private and custom services to people at a fair and budget price. We left large corporate after 13 years because we felt our clients were being overcharged and underserved. And this is our goal, to give you services that you need, that you want, that you can afford, and the quality of service that you should expect. And so that's why we love our business and serve our clients.
We love you too. You're passionate. I can see the passion.
That's love it.
It feels like a service. Like really what we do, we're not just supplying, tech. We are supplying service. When a child feels comfortable in their home, especially if something's happened, and that shows us is our house safe now? Yes. So what we feel when we put a system in, whether we're protecting employees in a small business, residents in their private home, or Airbnb guests, if God forbid a stove, fire starts, we are providing a service that really increases the quality of people's life.
Awesome. Can you provide a phone number or a website to
Love to.
reach you?
I'm sorry.
Help us out. Yeah.
Yes. Well, my husband actually takes all of our sales and installs. His phone number is 502-299-4525. Again, 502-299-4525. He can also be reached at steve@americaschoicealarm.com.
Awesome. So I did have a question, Hampton. So what I wanted to really, if you can help out someone who's a tribe member that's really thinking that, oh, this is great, I like the service. What's to stop me from going to a local hardware store, buying 3 cameras, and plugging them in, doing it myself, versus hiring you to take care of it for them? Like, can you speak to that? Should that say, because that could be a real temptation.
Oh, we see it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You can go to Costco and buy a full security system. But what's so satisfying is we get those calls afterwards. We'll get a client who says, I bought something online and it's junk. Or I bought this from a company, but I hate the system. Can you come and resolve this problem for me? What we're seeing in the marketplace is a lot of cameras that you can buy in a package or online or from other companies. They're called plug and play. And plug and play is a situation where you power up a camera, and maybe the video is not of good quality. Maybe it's battery operated, and battery operated cameras are maintenance nightmares, because these cameras, because of the low quality, we get a lot of clients who come back to us and say, hey, we want to put your system in. The quality of your video camera, the color saturation, the fact that you can zoom in and not pixelate. This is huge. This is really, really important, because if you're needing to come in to do an ID on a potential burglar, someone who's harassing you, someone who's vandalized property. You want to see a license plate. This is impossible with plug-and-play style cameras. And what else is important is, as a small business, we're able to keep our costs low. And our clients get to benefit from that cost reduction because we don't have all this overhead. And that's what really makes us different, is service, price. We can upgrade the quality of our systems because of our price point and lower the cost of our installation. So these are some of the things that we see a lot of. We see a lot of homeowners. We see a lot of business owners. Hey, I bought the system. I hate it. Can you come and make this go away? One of the benefits of doing business with is not only is it budget friendly and extremely beautiful, is there is no monthly fee.
And is there a discount? You're talking about language. I hear dipping in discounts and value, but is there a discount on your insurance to help with the cost of installation and monitoring?
We have seen in some cases up to 20% discounts of their homeowner's policy.
So I can hire you and I can save money at the same time. Because, I mean, think about it. Because, so here's
So Ollie, literally, a portion of your annual payments can be deducted from the cost of your insurance. So your insurance policy is literally paying yourself back.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it so much for coming out. Learned quite a bit today and got some things to think.
Boy, time flies, doesn't it?
It does. Time flies. And congratulations on 12 years of business. Thank you for joining the Investor Tribe podcast.
Thank you.
I'm Ham Skurlock. Say goodbye.
I'm Milton Ali, and we'll catch you on the flip side on the Investor Tribe. Take care.
The Investor Tribe podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. We are not attorneys, financial advisors, or licensed tax professionals. The opinions expressed by our hosts and guests are their own and should not be taken as legal, financial, or investment advice. All investments carry risk, including loss of principal. Always do your own due diligence, consult with qualified professionals, and make informed decisions based on your unique situation. The Investor Tribe podcast is brought to you by the Investor Tribe, all rights reserved, featuring Hampton Skurlock and Milton Ali, executive producer Drew Cookenmaster, produced and distributed by